Beautiful, beautiful day. You're lucky with the weather. And we should say that everybody knows that throwing gum on the ground is not, you know, a good thing. But the good news is that it is improving. There is, I don't know, if you put it down to the campaign, whether people are just getting wise. What do you feel, Jim?
I think the message is getting out there about gum litter. We have seen an improvement on gum litter. There's less of it on our streets. It still is very much an issue. It still is a major problem to actually remove the gum litter once it's on our streets. To take it off our streets, we need to use machinery. We have to send someone out and lift it piece by piece off the street. So it's a big job to clean up something that someone was careless enough not to bin correctly in the first place.
Now, as you know, Marie, Greystones isn't perfect. We're close.
We're close.
But there are issues with gum, and there's other things as well. You were saying off camera, butts are a little bit.
I think cigarette butts are nearly. For us, when we're out litter picking, that's our bug hate, because, you know, cigarettes, it's a deliberate thing, you just toss it. And
right.
We need to get people, just like the chewing gum, we need to get people just to be conscious. You know, there are a number of ashtrays around. Put your gum in and put your butts in. The butts, like, they go down the drains. At least the gum stays on the ground.
Right.
But the cigarette butts, they get washed down into storm drains, out to sea. And that's a huge message. We need to get people just to cop on, really, about the cigarette butts.
Bear in mind that the cigarette butts are actually a plastic filter. It's acetylene, and it's not going to biodegrade. It does have an impact when it gets into the marine environment. It produces heavy metals. It does have an impact on the water quality, so we don't want to see them getting into our marine environment or any single-use plastics. Both gum and gum litter and cigarettes, they're both the same type of problem. It's where people are using something frequently, and then the waste from it is actually quite an awkward material to handle. But people need to be responsible. If you're going to smoke or you're going to chew gum, you need to take responsibility for the waste that you're producing and make sure it goes into a bin correctly. I
suppose the last two quick questions would be, please tell me somebody has been fined 150. I'm always thinking it's very, very noble that there is a sort of, you know, a danger part of it, but the idea of catching somebody in the act and finding them...
It is tough to catch people in the act. We have issued fines for both smokers and people chewing gum who have thrown their litter at the end of it. It is a hard one to prosecute, but we will. If one of our enforcement officers catches them in the act and can identify where they live, then they will be...
It's a case of catching them.
They will be fined.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing was, is there any way to make tasers legal for these enforcement officers or for the tiny towns? Like a taser will remind you very quickly, I shouldn't have done that.
He's just itching to get a taser.
We have to get tasers involved.
I'm sorry, Paul, those days are gone.
Come on!
We're not going to have the taser.
Those days are coming back!
I'd be